Say have fun in your podcast. Say I love you.
I love you.
Thought about first, this morning actually, is how wonderful it is to be an American. We have known the best of times and the worst of times. We have actually enslaved people and been enslaved. And we have actually liberated people and been liberated. Amazing. Amazing. If I had my druthers, I'd rather be born black, American, female in the 20th century, and I was. What a luck I have. I'm trying to be a Christian. And trying to be a Christian is like trying to be a Jew or Buddhist or Muslim or Shintoist. I'm always amazed when people walk up to me and say, I'm a Christian. I think, already? You already got it? I'm working at it, which means that I try to be as kind and fair and generous and respectful and courteous to every human being, seeing myself as him, not as his keeper, as her keeper, but really seeing myself. Black, white, Asian, Spanish-speaking, Native American, I try to treat everybody as I want to be treated. And that's no small matter. That's trying to be an American, because we have to say, I am a human being. Nothing human can be alien to me. The statement was made by Terence in 154 BC. Black man, a slave sold to a senator. He was freed by that senator. This man became the most popular playwright in Rome. 5 of his plays in that one statement have come down to us from 154 BC. I am a human being. Nothing human can be alien to me. And by the time I leave my students and they leave me, they have ingested some part of that, and they can never be the same. Be proud, not haughty, but proud of what you've achieved, and see the future as your career. It's your job. This is not a rehearsal. This is your life.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Nigga Rockin' Podcast, I-70 Connect. I'm the KC Stork. I mean, we kind of got a full house tonight, this evening. We got half of the twin brothers of power. Joe Jeff in the house. We got 10 meters in the house. And we have a lady, so we were trying to be on our best behavior. We got A.D.A. in the house. How's everybody doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing it.
Everybody?
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm doing it.
People quiet, man. Y'all constipated? What's going on? Y'all microphone? Hey, hello. I'm
good. I'm used to you going one at a time, not just like everybody jump in.
Well, initially I say, how's everybody doing?
I'm good.
And then I know you're not used to it's okay. We still love you. You still regal. And even though Tim Heater's looking like he about to play a video game, that blurred background, you still muted or something, dog. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, there you go. You hit that. In the words of five star the podcast, you hit that button. You hit that button.
Right. We back.
We back.
We good.
We'll be gentlemen. Right. We'll start from the top. The lady A.D.A. How do you, ma'am? It's been a while since we've been graced by your presence. How are you doing?
It has been a long time. I'm good. I'm trying to do like Maya and try to be good, working at being good, being kind, being fair, generous, sometimes respectful to people. So I'm good.
But humans test you though, don't they?
They test me every day, especially on work days.
Fucking
But
fucking
I can
humans.
make it.
You make it.
Especially on the subways too. So, but we're gonna make it.
No, we gonna make it. We gonna in the as what did he win? What did he a Nobel Peace Prize? Kendrick, what did he win? What was the prize that he won?
Was it a Nobel Prize?
The Nobel, I don't know. But whatever prize he won, we gonna be all right. We gonna be all right, as he said. 10 meters. What's going on, pimp?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Chilling like a villain.
Dog, that blurred background's fucking me up, dog.
Why are you looking at the background? Look at me.
I can't help it, dog. It look like you are in a video game, nigga.
I am.
Like the most intensive round of Dig Dug ever. I wish we had a video platform, dog, so people could see this shit. This shit is amazing. I know it's simple technology, but I like it.
It's simple technology.
I fuck with it.
Where's the background? That's all.
I fuck with it. Was you good?
Yeah. All right.
Joe Jeff, what's up, pimp?
Well, I feel we have been graced by the presence of a lady.
A lady.
Great honor to this den of iniquity.
Ah! The podcast smells like lavender.
And potpourri.
Potpourri.
Why do you sound like you're in a different universe or some
I
shit?
put on clean socks before the podcast started. I actually came in the house, put on clean socks and underwear before we started.
Clean socks.
Quite so.
Quite so. Usually I drink the brown, but I am drinking orange juice and vodka. I've changed it up for her presence. Yeah. Hell, A.D.A.
No, let to do so.
Hold on, she changed her background up too. God damn it.
That's right. That's right. Everybody should blur their background.
Oh, you dig dug motherfuckers.
I feel like I'm in a video game too. Will my hands be blurred?
Okay, whatever. I just showed my age right there. God damn it.
Right out.
And of course me, Casey Stark. Everything's good. Life is good. We here. We missed out on the day, but you won't know it because you get the same podcast on Monday. Frank and James cannot be here. Shit to take care of, things to do. Frank is still touching balls somewhere in Kansas. James is about to lock it down, or be locked down, depending on how you look at it. So he got to take care of that shit. So, as always, we carry on without them. But when they come back, they will always be welcome back. Opening up, we start off with Maya Angelou. Regal as always, powerful as always with her words, even, as she progressed throughout her years. Thank you, Joe, for bringing that link to us so we can start off with that. That was like, it's great. As you get older and just the trials and tribulations and all things she's seen in her life, as far as like we touched on very briefly in the pregame, being a sex worker, everything she's seen as far as like the good and the bad of humanity, and still trying to be better, still trying to see the good in everybody. I think it speaks volumes to her legacy and why a lot of people, not just women, but just humans, look up to her as far as like trying to be better and reading her words and trying to progress. Anybody else want to touch on that? No? Okay.
We all got silent.
Yeah, hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man. I hear you.
She it's strangely topical at this point. To bring Maya up, but we want, of course, I think it's probably the last one we get. Is this the last one we're gonna do versus in Women's Month?
No, because March 29th will be a Friday.
Okay, so we might get one more in.
We get one more in. We're gonna do one more.
We'll do one more.
We're gonna do one more.
So, to bring her in there, and I think it's odd that it became topical again, but every time she speaks, man, I think there's something to be learned.
Yeah.
She has the wisdom of the ages,
Mm-hmm.
in her voice. So
I agree with that. And
I'm glad we have recordings to remember about.
oh yeah, And if you ever get a chance to read some of her poetry, man, it's just phenomenal. You know how she touches on life, and in her art.
Mm-hmm.
It's just she had a beautiful spirit. Coming out onto pages, even when she was telling tales of darkness. She would, how it would just, transcend onto pages and into her artistry. Was just simply amazing as well.
Agreed. What say you, A.D.A.?
Mm-hmm.
Maya, she's always great. She's one of the people who got me started wanting to write poetry. I think that for some reason, hearing from her about the country having the different kind of two different spheres of the country, so the liberation, but also the enslavement. It doesn't bother me when she says that, but it bothers me when other people say that I feel great to be an American despite all of the past or in spite of the past. But she, like everybody said, she makes it sound good. Everything she says just is poetry. And really, like she said, I'm trying to be good every day with what I do. So she's awesome.
She's definitely giving you that the shit that people of color have had to deal with and still deal with to this day in this society. It's definitely a big spoon of honey with her voice. Because it's like, oh, yeah, we were slaves. And you're like, yeah, we were. But, hey, we were American slaves. It could have been way worse. And you're like, yeah. That's, you right. Niggas could have been getting their motherfucking hands chopped off. You right. Instead, we just got shackles. And, yeah. No, but she did. I wonder how, damn, I won't put shade on Frank. I wonder how he feel about it. Because she definitely is, in that speech, a person who would reach across the aisle to talk to a Republican. So, as Joe would say, I'm poking the bear. I've been poking that nigga all week. if people been if they could be privy to the chat group that we have, I've been poking him all week because he is. I don't understand it, but I don't know. I get it. I understand. I get it. But yeah.
Go back and listen to the last episode.
Last episode, if you're listening now, you should go back and listen to all of them. That way you hear the progression of how we've gotten a little bit better. We got not even more guests, but we have more people who are actually part of the Nicaraguan just podcast network, however you want to call it, blah, 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 blah. But definitely you need to write into 30 Pisas if you're on Twitter to let him know, hey, sometimes you have to reach across the aisle to pull people into your boat or to people, whatever. Yeah. Even me being a person that hates humanity, I still understand that you have to sometimes talk to people to get a bigger influence, bigger bubble, as we all talked about in the last podcast, whatever. But yeah, Maya Angelou, a beautiful spirit, beautiful soul. And and we don't really have a video for it, and we can find a link for it, but like as Joe pointed out, that it wasn't like intended how that speech became relevant. Like not relevant, but how like it's relevant now. If you're on Twitter, social media, you saw the whole thing where they put up some speech from like 20 years, not speech, or appearance of Maya Angelou 20 years ago where she corrected some young lady that called her by her first name. And us all being here, us all being over the age of 40, we have all been, I'm sorry, you're not supposed to tell a lady's age. A.D.A. is, I think.
I'm not over the age of 40.
She is, I don't know her age. Sorry. Gotta be respectful. Damn it! She's
you disrespectful mongrel.
You dirty nigger. Get down there. But I gotta find. I want to find. You know what? I'll find the clip later. But definitely, it's funny how it came into prominence, and also, it's a beautiful thing how you not beautiful, maybe ugly, especially for our educators on the show. How people come to find out who she is through this video, and on Twitter, I found out that a lot of people didn't know who she was. Like, who is this woman correcting this child? And it's like, no, first of all, nigga, that's Maya Angelou, and that's a child calling elder by their first name, and all she did was basically tell her, well, you will not call me Maya. My name is Doctor or Mrs. or whatever, and you would call me as such. And I thought it was just weird that not weird, because of course the day and age, I try to live through my children, not try to live through them, but understand the world and see it through their eyes, so I have a better understanding of what's going on, where we're headed. But it's still weird to me, because even my children, my teenage children, even my adult children who are 21 and 18, will still say Mr. and Mrs. to people to this day. You know, they like my. So I find it weird that a 14-year-old girl will call someone Maya on a TV show. I mean, maybe that's the racism coming out too, because she was a black girl. Like, she should have known better.
Maybe that been hit with an extension cord before.
Oh damn! God damn!
She didn't have to go outside.
She didn't have a racetrack. She didn't have a racetrack upside her head, nigga.
She had to, man.
Hey, she didn't been at the table all night because she didn't want to finish her chili.
Yeah.
Your ass better not get up before you eat all that food, nigga.
Right.
It's like you want to say something, A.D.A. What's going on?
No, I'm just thinking, because I feel like, and I know this was 20 years ago, but I feel like today people don't use last names or don't use, what are the things called when you say Mr. or Miss?
Not pronouns.
Surnames
or greetings or
greeting names, whatever it's called.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I even think about, like, I feel like the whole time I was growing up, it was always President so-and-so, and I don't know if maybe it's because he's black and people were trying to take away from him, but people always called him Barack. People called Michelle. It's like, it's not First Lady Michelle or Mrs. Obama. And I know that even in schools nowadays, some schools are like, call your teacher. We're going to call teachers by their first names because everybody's equal here. And even, I want to say, even when I went to college, some of the students there had been calling their teachers by their first names. So I don't know. It's just weird. But at the same time, I've never done that. Even when I was teaching, as an adult in the school, as an educator in leadership positions, I never called my principal by her first name because it just didn't feel right to me. Because that's just the way my parents had done things and the way I had been used to it. But I think so the people on Twitter who don't know who Maya Angelou is, I could see them not understanding that and being mad that she's telling this young lady, I'm not your peer, I'm not your friend. But I have done a lot of shit in my life.
But she didn't even say that. She didn't even say that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
But she didn't even say that though. She was just, I think, because like 20 years ago, she didn't say the whole.
This was like 30 years ago. This wasn't even.
Yes, I was going to.
It was 1990. My bad. So like almost 30. You're right.
Yeah.
So
30 years ago.
So, like in the video, like she didn't even like go into the whole thing of I'm this, I'm that. But she was like saying, "I'm your mother, I'm your auntie, I'm this and that."
Should she have to? I mean, we know there was Maya Angelou saying it, but had any woman, had Betty Sue, had Mabel said it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
should it be any different?
But it shouldn't be any different. But I think A.D.A. is bringing up a thing where it's just like the cultural shift that a lot of us on here won't agree with, but it's a thing that's happening. Because like we're not raising well as far as like me and you, but even like A.D.A. and Anthony, they have younger members of their family. We're not influencing the members of our family that way to call people by their first name, but there are people out there who are like that. So, are we just old dinosaurs? Where do we stand? You know, type of question.
Well,
almost.
I put it this way: I bet you if you got a hold of that 14-year-old girl who's now 44,
right.
She'd insist the same thing.
Right, but
insist to call her by her first name or insist last name or Miss Maya or something.
Miss. Yeah, I've earned that. You know.
Oh, for herself. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But even in the video though, if you've seen the video, the girl didn't even blink. She was probably like, I mean, she had like, "Oh, you're right." It was the white woman. The white woman was more dramatic than anybody else in the video.
Right.
So I mean, culture shift, all that. And A.D.A. brought up a very important thing. I would not be calling out doctors by their names, but there's a doctor in our facility. Anthony knows I won't say his name. Who's really big on like, just call me. We'll just say, call me Y. And like, in me, I'm like, and he corrects me. I'm like, in me, I'm still just like, okay, I won't say sir, but I'll call you Dr. Just whatever. I'm not gonna call you your first name. The military and my father punched me in the head too many times as a Marine. I'm sorry. I was brainwashed fucking 30 years ago, my nigga. There's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
And this is me saying yeah to my mom. Pow! You get punched in the motherfucking head.
So I mean, it's just the way you know, we were all brought up, you know, collectively on this podcast, because we were brought up saying no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, and you know, that was the bottom line. You didn't call your relatives by their first name. You always put aunt or uncle or
Mr.
Mr. or Mrs.
When your auntie bought that
name.
When your auntie didn't bring her husband to the cookout, but it was some weird guy.
Right.
Mr. James.
And his name is Uncle whatever.
No, you just call him Mr. James. That's Mr. James.
Or Mr. James.
That's Mr. James.
You're right. Mr. James.
Mr. James, nigga.
Never, but as a child, you know, that's how, yeah.
Like that's
as
not
a child growing up.
That's not Uncle Joe.
No.
That's Mr. James.
Oh, he's Mr. James. Mr.
Okay.
James. I said, oh, okay.
But why is Auntie Aretha kissing on him like Mr. James, like Uncle Joe? Hey, boy, don't worry about it. You worrying about those issues right now, nigga. You worrying about those issues, nigga. Hey, what they say in the military, stay in your pay grade, nigga.
Right.
Stay in your pay grade.
Right. Don't play with these toys over here. But you know, that's how I was growing up. You know, back in my days, and I grew up like in the 80s and 90s. You know, before this all happened, you know, transpired and everything. But you know, that's what I was taught. You know, to respect the elders, and that's one form of respect, is never to use just their first name, because we're not peers. They're elders. So elders will be respected as such.
But not to get too deep or go off on a tangent before we move on to our next topic, but it's weird, though, because like some of the same people, these young people, or I should say younger people who I see saying like, well, she was wrong for this, calling this young lady out. These are some of the same people, if you go to their Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts, who are putting their children on blast. Something that I really hate, parenting for social media, where it's like, oh, my kid didn't get all A's, so I'm going to get this nigga a fucked up haircut and put it on social media. Oh, my kid said something to their teacher, so I'm going to put it on social media, him holding a sign on the corner. And it's like, wait a minute. At the same point in time, you try and check Maya Angelou for checking this young lady for not calling her Mrs. or doctor or whatever, but right. You okay with motherfuckers doing this shit for social media. So, like, once again, humanity has confused me, and I want to just throw the whole earth into the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That's it.
I agree.
Yeah, because, I'm not about to go through Twitter to find it, because it was like one father, right? Like, his son, I think he got, like, and this is, like, a young kid too. We're not talking about like some high schooler nigga who's just like fuck it all. Even then, I don't think it's right. But you talking about a kid who's in elementary school age. I think this kid got like, I guess D's or whatever the fucking, I don't know what they got in elementary school now. D's, I's, B's, Z's, whatever. It's all weird now wherever you go. But basically, he wasn't getting good grades. Okay. So instead of getting this kid a tutor or trying to figure out what's going on or showing a teaching moment, father and son, this father decided that I'm going to give my son, instead of like I used to give him the tight shape up every 2 weeks, I'm going to get him the George Jefferson ball.
The reverse fade. Huh?
Gave him a reverse fade and put it out there for social media, and he got fried as he should. That parent got fried. Because I'm like, if your kid doing good, yeah, you know, you won't put it on there, dude. You know, put it up there. If it's a teaching moment, okay, I'm kind of iffy with that. Teaching moments, which are more intimate moments, I think should be kind of left off social media also. But for sure, don't be, especially with an elementary age kid or any kid for that matter, but definitely if you're an elementary kid, putting that shit out on social media where you showing your son and then also saying, my kid fucked up. So, first of all, I'm looking at you as a parent like, this nigga like 10 years old. So what's going on in your house to where your kid's not succeeding?
We need that follow-up tweet 10 years later when your son's a sociopath.
That's what we need. Oh, when your son's sitting outside the house butt naked covered in fucking dog blood, setting the fire, nigga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, we need that. So,
I know it's, we all, as far as the church of raising young, successful individuals, I know I'm preaching to the choir as far as that goes, but a lot of, like, it hit me when it was like, y'all the same people talking about this, why this woman should be respected, why she calling her out, but y'all the same niggas that glorify and put all this shit on fucking social media, Instagram, when y'all shaming y'all fucking kids. So which one is it? Is it build your kid up or shame your kid? Is it teach your kid respect or fuck your kid? Which one is it?
Yeah.
So whatever. I don't know. I got mad for a second. I'm back.
Get together, humans.
Get together, humans. I swear to God, if I win this Powerball, nigga, I'm putting a rocket on the earth, nigga. I'm sending this motherfucker to the sun, nigga. Kiss all your loved ones goodbye. All right, I think we adequately addressed that. Yeah. And there really is no segue to this. And I don't think we're going to talk about this very much. But the whole, if you haven't been in a cave, if you've been living above the earth for a little bit, you may have heard that the Mueller Report finally came out. Well, not came out, but he presented it to the, it's not even an AG, is there? Cause didn't old boy quit?
No, they got a legit one.
Oh, they got a replacement. They got a replacement. My bad.
It's
someone who's even more in Trump's pocket.
Well, no, I don't know about that. Maybe so, but he was the Attorney General for Bush.
Oh, William P. Barr. You know what? Thank you guys. If I had just read a little bit more, I would have seen this. William P. Barr. So Mueller presented his report to William P. Barr, and of course, lines have been drawn in the sand. It's fucking. Can I see this? Hold on, my bad. It's basically fucking Battle of the Bastards going on, Game of Thrones type shit, and which is funny to me because nothing's been put out publicly. Except for,
I think it's coming.
Oh no, it's coming. But I'm saying, like, everyone's like making all these like speeches as far as like what it is, what's going to happen. But it's like we basically know the same shit that we knew yesterday, right?
Right.
Well, no.
Go ahead, Joe.
There's some information out there. I think what I did is when I saw it come out, I turned on CNN. Then I turned on Fox to see what they were saying over there.
Are you okay? Are you okay, nigga? Do you need A.D.A. to squirt the lavender scented woman essence?
I'm gonna need some lavender. I need
ladies and gentlemen, as you know, that we do not like the network Fox at all.
So
continue.
I turned over to catch what Tucker Carlson had to say about it, and then I went over to check out what Rachel Maddow was talking about.
Oh,
and there's some, and she's almost as bad.
She getting real bad. She getting real bad.
Right.
So anyway, the point I'm making is that I think there is some information that was given in the lack of information, and the big thing that came out was that there were no more additional indictments from the Mueller probe.
Yeah, I got that.
So that's information. So that means that we're not going to indict Don Jr.
No.
At least, I put it this way, at least not through the Mueller probe. Now, it's still, I guess, a possibility that, the Southern District of New York could do it or somewhere else. But it's not going to come from the Mueller team. And we're not going to indict Jared, what's his name? The son-in-law. Kushner. We're not going to indict Kushner. And those two were known to have been in that meeting with the Russian lawyer. That's information. That lack of information provided information. So the Republicans on Fox were celebrating and say, yeah, this is all for nothing. The Democrats like on MSNBC, were kind of I don't know. I don't want to say disappointed, but there's some anticipation. But they do see that they're not getting everything that they thought they were going to get. And one thing I think they did laud them for, and I don't remember if this was CNN or MSNBC, but the way that the president's legal team filtered his answers through, instead of having Trump come up there and lie under oath like we know Trump would do.
Yep.
They had him, have a letter sent into the Mueller team answering whatever questions were there, and had that filtered through lawyers to give it the most ambiguous answers possible. To the point where, as you said at the beginning of the show, nothing's going to come of this, probably. But, I mean, I don't think you needed criminal charges against the president to get him impeached.
No.
You just needed things that were going to allow the public and the Congress to see that this was unpresidential, that this was immoral, that it violated, his job description, and I think you could still see impeachment, but I don't know how likely that is. But so far.
Once again, shameless plug, my new catchphrase. If they listened to the Nigga Rockin' podcast, they would have knew it was coming.
Yeah,
cause we said that they not gonna. This ain't gonna be the out.
No.
But I think anybody that's go ahead.
It could be, but I mean, it's just not looking like it's gonna be.
It could be, but I think a lot of it comes to like what all gets released from that report, though. Cause I think there's a lot. It's probably a lot. We all know there's a lot of information there, or we assume there's a lot of information there, and I think Mueller's like, you know what, I don't want all this shit on me. I'm gonna put it in your lap, Playboy. Good luck.
Yeah, he's gonna put it in the other branch of Congress. The other branch of government. Let them do it.
Yeah,
but I think I don't know. I think something still could become of it. I think I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. I think they're gonna have to release. That's what I was gonna say. They're gonna have to release it to the public.
Yeah, but even with the people that
do it, and there's gonna be some stuff maybe redacted, like if it's a national security.
Nigga, it's gonna be a page of black lines, nigga.
even with whatever's released, though, he's given it to the Attorney General, who is a Trump appointee. That person is going to, I forgot his name, Barr, was it?
Yeah.
That person is going to decide what he wants to give to the White House officials. White House officials are completely in Trump's pocket. They're going to decide what they want to see.
No. The White House is not going to get a preview. I don't think.
They get it after AG?
I think they're going to. I think when the Attorney General gets it, he's going to have to release that to Congress.
Okay.
He's going to have to release that to Congress. So I don't think that the White House will get to filter it.
Which branch of Congress gets it?
It doesn't matter because there's Democrats in both houses. So if it gets to one, it'll get leaked.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think about the leaks. That's true. Mm-hmm. But I think that even with the release of that, I don't feel like much is going to come out of that. But I think that with some of the other things happening right now in the government outside of the White House, but connected to the White House, more stuff could come out about Trump. So there's this past Tuesday, they started in the Fourth Circuit Court a court case about the emoluments clause with Donald Trump. Yeah. And then there's 2 other cases that are coming up with that. So I think that those could be more potentially damaging to Trump than what's in the Mueller report.
We're 2 years in. I mean, as damaging as they could be, I think by the time we get to the point where they do damage, it's going to be time for an election.
It'll be time. It'll be probably past time for an election, and he'll be reelected, and it'll be horrible.
Then we come back to a question that was posed here a few months ago. Who the Democrats got to beat this nigga?
I mean, they got a whole field of people, man.
But we too splintered though. That's what we talked about that too. We too splintered, right?
Dude, we already told you that Bernie could have did it last time, man.
I don't think. I mean, and I told you I don't believe so.
The poll said so. That's all I'm saying.
I guess though, and we also talked about how the poll shifted.
Age-old argument.
Age-old argument. How the poll shifted and changed though, dog. How the poll shifted and changed though. I'm just saying though. Okay, if y'all had that trust in Bernie, like I said, I would have voted, nigga. At this point, I would have voted for Bernie. And right now, I'm on Twitter saying, and on Facebook, I have been quoted saying, you could put a cutout of LeBron James up there, nigga. I'm voting for that nigga, dog.
Yeah. If Trump runs against a crackhead, I'm voting for the crackhead. I'm sorry.
I tell you what I decided.
Oh,
my bad. Go ahead. I don't want to step on you. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, I think the crackhead will do a better job than Trump would right now. But go ahead.
Free drugs for everybody.
I was going to say, what I've decided, man, is if the Democrats don't put up a good candidate, if they don't put up a candidate worth voting for, I'll vote third party this time, man.
But what I'm saying,
we didn't see like the first time it was like, hey, we need to prevent this from happening, but it's happened. And so if the Democrats can't get their act together and put together a candidate worth not voting against Trump, but voting for this candidate, I'm not gonna vote for a bullshit candidate.
But what I'm saying is though, like,
I'm not voting for Trump, but I ain't gonna vote for a Democrat just for the sake of voting for a Democrat.
But that's basically a vote for Trump then, though, right? Because we'll be splitting once again. That's all I'm saying is
but here's the thing, we done already had it. So,
but once again, though, I'm saying, but so you're agreeing to my point. The Democratic Party is so. That's what I'm saying. The Democratic Party is so splintered. Yeah. We can't come to agreement. And I've said this before too on the podcast. Like them, love them, hate them. Motherfucking Republicans will start off with a field of motherfucking. They'll have the motherfucking NCAA tournament right now. It'd be a field of 65. But once they get a nigga, they get locked in step. The Democratic Party don't do that.
There's about 4 or 5 that I vote for that I know. Now, if they put out there a fool, they put out another Hillary, I'm not voting. I'm sorry. If they put out another Hillary, I'm not voting. I'm not going to do it. I ain't never called myself a Democrat. I've never been a Democrat, man. I never been a Democrat either, though. But I definitely won't vote Republican. Yeah. But what I will do is once the Democratic Party picks somebody, I'll vote for them rather than have a goddamn or have a Republican. But what I'm saying is, we're having the same debate I won't do that over having a Republican. I'll do it over this Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, with this Republican?
Put out a better candidate than a Democrat, I'll vote for the Republican.
But there won't be. But there won't be.
This fool.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe. My bad.
In this particular, I'm talking about in general. But in this particular election, this Republican is not worth garnering a vote. But look, I did that last year, and 4 years ago, 2 years ago, and I held my nose and I voted for that woman, and I did it against my instinct. And I'm saying to you, that I'm not gonna do it again because.
But also, basically, what's gonna happen again is he's gonna be back.
Then they better put a good candidate up. Then they better put a good one up.
But what's a good one though? But what's a good one? What passes bar? So hold on. So to me though, like the same arguments we have about Bernie versus Hillary, what has Bernie done that's so better or drastic while he's been in the motherfucking Congress for fucking 100 years?
I put it this way.
You talk, and you get on Frank about not reaching across the aisle. Go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, Pimp.
I voted for Bernie in the primary. But there weren't that many options. It was vote for Hillary, or vote for Bernie, or the other dude who dropped out. You know what I'm saying? Right. But so it was either one vote for one of them two. So I voted for Bernie in the primary, and I voted for Hillary in the general election. And what I'm saying to you is that the ideas that they have pressed sound to me to be more appealing than the ideas I heard from Hillary. But I'm just saying the general likability of him versus her. We already had that episode, man.
I know we had it. To me, I don't want either. But to me, they're the same people. Except a lot of people, they're not. To me, they are. Except I'll say the lot of things that people shitted on Hillary for, she couldn't vote for, and Bernie actually did vote for.
We had
Good.
that episode.
I know we already did, but I'm just saying though, like people shit on Hillary and they like, I'm like the whole fucking predator shit and all that shit. I'm like, but Bernie voted for the fucking bill, but he gave a nice speech before he voted for it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. Hopefully, we all get. I mean,
I didn't vote for that bill. It wasn't based on that bill. It was based on a whole lot of other things. But
I get you. But I mean, Bernie being from that all-white state, I'm sure he's the great white savior to save us all. It'll be a great movie. It'll be him marching for the civil rights.
And I am not telling you that I am Bernie or bust. I'm telling you the Democrats better put up a good candidate.
I know, but I'm saying is though, dog, like, what is a good candidate though? What gets us there? I'm saying as a nigga, as I'm saying,
not Hillary gets us there.
I get it though, but if it's not Hillary, then if it ain't Bernie, then what? That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm asking.
It's basically got to be somebody who can not only reach across the aisle, but is likable.
But once again, here we are.
Party and the Republicans as well.
All I'm saying is, here we are in the Democratic Party trying to appease every fucking body, and we're gonna get Trump again. That's all I'm saying. Bro. That's all I'm saying. Here we are, and that's why I said we're not gonna win.
What I was gonna say is, even if.
And actually, I'm with Joe. I'm not a big fan of Hillary. My bad. Go ahead.
Because.
Go ahead, Anthony. My bad.
Yeah, what I was going to say is that the reason why we're going to get Trump again for the second term is because not only the Democrats are just so splintered, but, you're going to have this, whole thing of who is good to vote for or whatever. And so by you voting against Democrat and you end up voting for the independent is not going to have enough vote.
And more importantly, we're talking about a woman who's already said that she's not going to run.
Exactly. So that's why we're going to get him again, because the Republicans, they're going to stay loyal to their own party. They're not going to cross the aisle no matter what. No matter what this orange motherfucker do,
Hey,
he could have came in a Republican's house, raped their damn daughter, and then shit on your mother,
he
and still would get elected into the White House.
I just need my nigga Joe to say he's not Bernie or bust. That's all I wanted to hear. That I'm gonna sleep better tonight hearing that. I didn't hear you say that. I didn't hear you. Well, I know you both.
I said that several times.
I don't know you said it here. I never heard you say it here. I think you. I don't know. I think you said I voted for Hillary, so I should have assumed that you weren't Bernie or bust. My bad. I love you, dog.
I'm writing myself in shit.
We definitely not gonna win, nigga. They gonna pull up every episode of Nigga Rockin' Podcast, and nigga, you gonna be out the motherfucking race immediately. So this episode where the KC Stork said white people ain't shit, and you didn't say nothing but laugh. How you feel about that? And this episode where y'all laughed about niggas drowning in Missouri. How do you feel about that?
I plead the fifth.
This episode where you said.
Hold on. This episode where we gave niggas an award.
Matter of fact, the name of the award is the Duck Boat Award. This episode where you finally said I'm gonna stop listening to R. Kelly, which happened just to be last year. Nigga, you're not gonna make it, dog.
That was the perfect candidate. Shit.
Nigga, you not. Nigga, fuck a preliminary. You ain't gonna make it. Nigga, you ain't getting no tickets, nigga.
I ain't gonna even make it past the interview.
Shit. Nigga, you be better off being on stage hugging fucking Donald Trump, nigga. You can replace Ben Carson at HUD, nigga. That's what you be better at that, nigga. Shit, nigga.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm running for president, and motherfucking Kanye West gonna be my running mate.
Trump be like, oh, you like R. Kelly too? Oh, nigga, you got we got a spot open at HUD, nigga. What you doing? What you doing next week? But nah. I mean, despite all the rhetoric and bickering and whatever. But yeah, definitely. I hope we y'all can get. hopefully we can present a candidate that gets this motherfucker out the White House. Because, like, I mean, I'm not. Maybe it's just a pessimist in me. I hate humanity, and I think it's gonna be another 4 years of this nigga. And like, unless he just says, "I'm losing money," which he probably is as a businessman. Now he didn't decide to put the Trump name on shit with the White House logo. That came out today too. But yeah, I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. But hey, you know, we got what, a year and a half?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Or the way I'm looking at it, we got 4.5 more years. I mean, 5.5 more years.
Hey. I know it's like a lot of white. I mean, but then again, though, like we talked about it like a while ago. Like Trump won, but no one talks about vote for Trump. But then again, like a lot of people who after he won, who were vocal, have now gone quiet again. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Whatever. Racism probably keep winning. Whatever. You know, hey, you know what? It's all smiles. You know, actually, it's not all smiles because speaking about oh, what happened? Yeah, I don't. Oh shit, there we go. He's an angry white man. Speaking of angry white men who run the country. Okay, hold on. Let me get back to Skype here. Boom, there we go. So once again, poor segues here. We're not really we all over the place on the Nigga Rock podcast today. A.D.A is just judging me as she looks at me. I'm not judging you. You look wonderful in your court. I'm not saying the school's name. You look wonderful in your shirt. There we go.
My little hoodie.
Your hoodie. I like it. But hey, y'all didn't know March Madness kicking off. A lot of athletes out there not getting paid. A lot of institutions getting a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I didn't. It's not part of the docket, but did you guys know that the NCAA is going to make a Zion Williamson cam? So for this game he's playing, was it tomorrow they play?
Yeah.
Tomorrow there's going to be a motherfucker who's going to have a camera that's just going to follow him. Student athletes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my opinion on the NCAA is they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah. So, you know,
bottom line.
Before I play this clip, we're all professionals. We all work. We'll just go around the horn here. So, from reverse order from what we started off with. So, Joe, you're at work and your employer comes to you. You may have made a bad decision, and they approach you very aggressively with their fist balled up, cussing you out. Do you just say, "Hey, my bad, guy. Let me go sit down doing this timeout or whatever, this meeting in the corner"? What happens? What say you?
That's a call to the union right there.
Call to the union. Well, I don't have a union. I missed the days when I did have a union because that's definitely would have been my answer. Like, you know what? I ain't gonna even talk to you, white man. Let me get back to the union, nigga. I do miss the union. Dog, I had a union when I was a security guard, dog. Woo! And I was being overpaid. I missed that shit. Actually, I should start with A.D.A. since it was. Actually, wait a minute. What was it? You know what? I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Young A.D.A. Miss Lavender, who sprinkles her fair scents on the podcast. So you're at Lavender. So you're at work and your boss comes to you. You may have put a dot in wrong, whatever. I don't know, but it's still going. You have time to correct it. You do correct it, and you guys still go on to win or whatever it is in the business world. But her fist is balled up. She's angry. She's yelling at you. She's cussing you out. How does that happen? What goes on there?
I think that in my past work, it would have been, like Joe said, go to the union. Right now, with my disgruntled feelings about my job, it might be immediate clapbacks.
Clapbacks.
And
Hold
then
on. What do you mean by clapbacks?
Hmm?
Well, we may have white listeners. Or clapbacks like crab cakes? What are clapbacks?
I think that means some furniture gonna move.
This furniture move?
We gonna be moving furniture up.
Wait a minute. Furniture moving.
Pushing some chairs out the way.
So you're leaving? What does furniture moving mean?
It would be me saying everything that I think about saying to them on a given day when I'm getting dressed in the morning, when I'm walking to work, when I'm at work, finally saying the things that I wanted to say. Or if I had enough sense to hold my tongue for a little bit, it might be going to the HR lady and then quitting. Like, I feel like I'd quit. I couldn't deal with a boss who treated me like that.
Okay.
Or who treated any of my colleagues that way, because if she can treat a colleague that way, probably going to treat me that way at some time too.
Right.
So I'd be out.
Definitely feel you. 10 meters, sir. You're scrubbing to a case. Since we have the same job, we work together actually. You're scrubbed into a case. You hand the physician the wrong sheath, and he said instead of saying, "Hey, this isn't what I wanted," he decides to just fucking cuss you out in front of everybody. What happens?
I'll look at him. I'll tell him, look here, player.
Look here, player.
Look here, player.
He probably like player. Nigga,
Not doc.
I'm not playing.
Out the window. Sir is out the window. Everything else is out the window. It's now we down to look here, player.
Player to player, pimp to pimp. What's up?
I understand. I might have handed you the wrong thing, but the way you talk to me, it's not gonna fly. Now, you either get your act together and get the right one yourself, or, you can call somebody else, because I'm not going to tolerate that shit. Yeah. In the case of move on, without any bumps or lumps.
I believe you. I've been there. I've seen it. I've seen you do it before. I believe it. When I was in the military, my first deployment, I was closer to this young man's age. Young Roger got demoted. Because there was a full-board colonel who decided to come out his office and say, "Hey, boy."
Oh, shit.
Where's the coffee at? And I was like, "It's over there in the pot, sir." So that was just one. And he was like, "Yeah, but I need you to make me some." And I was like, "Look here, motherfucker. we gonna be here for the next 4 or 5 months, my nigga. I ain't say my nigga. We gonna be here for the next motherfucker 4 or 5 months. What I'm not gonna do is allow you to fucking talk to me this way." Of course, he hyped it up. Man, I may have my fist balled.
You had your fist balled.
I did.
Tell us.
He was like, at that time, he was like 60-year-old man. At that time, that was like right after I left. So I was out of Missouri. So I was out of Missouri. Left basic training, so I was pretty decent shape. So I'm not big, but like my 6'3", 240-pound ass stood up with my fist balled. He probably didn't feel threatened. But what we're not gonna do is call me boy. And I told him, I said, "Look, motherfucker, you can call me Winston. You can call me specialist. You can call me soldier. But what we're not gonna fucking do is call me boy." So I don't know what we're gonna do about that. We can go outside and talk about it.
Who out here popping bubble wrap, man?
I think Andy just won the motherfucking lotto, or he playing bingo, or this nigga, yeah.
Is that bubble wrap? No, I wasn't popping bubble wrap. I'm opening mail. That's not bubble wrap.
See, y'all see this video here, right? Y'all see my screen?
Yeah, we see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Let me see. So we'll introduce this. So we asked those questions. We went around the horn. So what we talking about? We're about to roll into here. Tom Izzo, head coach from Michigan State, and let's not forget that Michigan State has had some not so good runs in the tourney. So maybe Tom Izzo might be feeling a little heat. So number two seed Michigan State hasn't looked great so far in the first tournament. Game against Bradley, the Spartans trailed at halftime, but were able to reestablish control of the game with a 10-0 run at the start of the second half. that positive stretch wasn't good enough to save freshman forward Aaron Henry from getting chewed out and lunged at by head coach Tom Izzo during the timeout. I'll play the video for you guys.
There was a little bit of animation here from Coach Tom Izzo. Well, to his freshman, Aaron Henry.
You would think on a 10-0 run, Tom Izzo would be happy. Izzo now having words with the freshman, Henry, who seems a little bit perplexed.
Damn, where's the whole video at? That wasn't nothing. Oh, I have bored you. I need to find another video. Where we at? So there's another video where they're sitting there and he's kind of lunging at him, and the other players are having to hold him back. So off of that right there, I'm like, ooh, whatever. I feel bored now. I'm sleepy. So anyway, there's another video where they're sitting there and Tom Izzo throws the clipboard down. He's kind of lunging at him, getting in old boy's face. Whatever. But it brings, of course, the bigger point of these young people. Oh, shit. Hold on. Hey. We're still playing. We are still playing. Somebody's cheering. Okay. We got shut. Tom want to keep talking. Tom is, I'm going to talk to this nigga. I'm getting right. So, we have, well, yeah, I won't put my name in that. But we have two coaches here who coach some athletes to go on to the collegiate level. And talking about dealing with young athletes, especially we talk about the 18-year-old group where you're talking about your seniors, whatever, which for some odd reason, when they're in high school, they're children, but when they go to college, they are adults, depending on the narrative and what people want to address them as. How do you deal with these situations where, of course, because as young people, even as like old people, as myself, as we all went around the horn and talked about, we're gonna fuck up. How do we address these issues? And I'll get back to you, Tim Meters, but specifically addressing A.D.A. and Joe. How do you address these issues?
Ladies first.
For me, even from what I saw there, for me as a coach, that's not the way I would have handled anything. First of all, whether it's with my assistant coaches or whether it was with an athlete, for me, it was always, we keep the family business within the family. So I wouldn't want to be yelling and screaming at somebody. I coach track, so it would be in a track meet. I'm not a yeller anyway. I'm a pretty calm person. So I didn't want to be putting down an athlete. First of all, at a competition, this is during a timeout. So it wasn't even halftime where you're in the locker room. This kid is going to have to go out and play in 30 seconds, 60 seconds or whatever again. And
correct.
Have to regroup and calm himself down. And that's just not feasible, especially for someone, if he's a freshman, he's 18, 19 years old, maybe 20 years old. He's not
he's either 18 or 19. He's
ready to do stuff like that. And yeah, for me, it is most of the coach, I would assume, I haven't coached basketball, but I would assume most of the heavy duty coaching is going to take place outside of the game. And that's when, if you feel like yelling and screaming at a person, that's when you should do that stuff. That's when you're doing all that stuff. I've worked with coaches at schools where they are the yellers and the screamers at kids during games, which is fine. But even with them, they were like extreme yellers, extreme screamers, really great coaches, really good at what they did. Kids knew that, but it never got to the point where the coach had to be held back. The coach was never aggressive in that kind of way. Yeah, they'd be yelling and screaming, but there's no reason as a coach that somebody should have to push you away from an athlete, from your own athlete, let alone somebody else's athlete. So for me, it's just not a good coaching style for me. I understand he was stressed. He's number 2 seed. Game wasn't going well. Kid might have fucked up a little bit. Again, he's a freshman. He doesn't know that much. Hasn't played in any NCAA tournaments yet. So it's kind of a teachable thing. Yes, he's been playing for years, and yes, he's played the whole season so far, but there's better ways to address him than what he was doing, to me.
Yeah. On to you, Sergio.
My coaching experience has been different.
Joe be out there kicking them kids. Nigga, you better run, nigga.
Damn, you be Kareem hunting them motherfuckers, Joe?
No, nigga, not the Tyreek.
No, we Kareem Hunt. No. But I was my head coach was old school. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of his tendencies rubbed off on me, and I think they've been very effective for me. But I do think that, and he knows this too. He knows that the way that we were coached back in the 90s, the way that he used to coach back in the 80s and 70s won't fly in 2019. And I know that. And so even when I took over in 2007 as the head coach, I don't coach the same way I coached back then. Part of that is my reputation precedes me a little bit more than it did back then. And some things that probably would solve themselves at this point needed my TLC back then, you know, so there's that. But I mean, at the same time, I've grown. I feel like I've grown. I feel like I'm a better coach than I was 12 years ago. And I would not address many of those situations the same way that, I'm going off your description and the picture. I didn't, you know, we obviously didn't see the actual incident. But, you know, I'm not going to try to go Bobby Knight on people, you know.
I should have played that shit.
Right. So the kids will take you there, though. And the kid's a freshman. He's 19. These kids, a lot of times, will attempt to take you there. And I have coached basketball. And in that situation, yes, at the end of that time, he does not need to go back in. He can sit on the end of the bench.
I've been there, dog.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a few AU tournaments where my coach is like, what the fuck? Nigga, hey, just go down there. Take your ass down there.
Oh, I've collected uniforms quick.
You gotta get it out.
Go in the locker room, run me my shit. So, no, we don't need none of that. So I mean, I can understand. I'll put it this way: I'm glad that I'm not covered by cameras the way Tom Izzo is at work. But at the same time, I don't think I've ever. No, let me stop. I don't want to lie to y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I will say to his credit though, I've never really seen. I mean, I'll have to go research and look. I haven't seen many clips of Tom Izzo like that.
No, I mean, I think he's in your face. I think that's.
Well, he's in your face, but he's not like I'm about to lunge at you and have to be held back at a time doing a timeout type of nigga.
But then it's like you've got to think these people are human, right? So Izzo may have had a really bad day. His superiors might have been like, "Look, you're number 2 seed, but your team's playing like shit. You're gonna be fired."
Like I said,
that's
though,
like millions of dollars that he might lose. So he might be just like really upset at this kid.
Like we were talking about at work though too. Like the last couple of years, Izzo's had a couple of early deuces during the tournament too. So he might be feeling that pressure. Mm-hmm. And like Joe said, I mean, like I haven't coached high school kids, so I would never put myself in that. I haven't coached anybody on the collegiate level, but like, yeah, I mean, it's not high school, but definitely. Open my eyes, coaches of motherfucking like 10 and 11-year-olds. Like, kids will take you. Like I said, once again, I'm not putting myself at y'all level and then that fucking hat and into that fucking ring or whatever. But like, yeah, like when your star free safety decides that I'm just gonna stare at the sun doing this play instead of dropping back and they get a touchdown, and you like, you gotta remind yourself that this little nigga's 11 years old. And you just like, I want to cuss him out, but he's 11. Well, what I'm going to do?
Hey, here's my thing, man. Like I said, I got a new team, right?
Right.
And we've experienced a bit of a honeymoon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been, the best me I could possibly be.
The best Joe. Hey, yay! How long does that last, though?
To set the tone. Dude, to try to set the tone, I'm telling you, it's been little things here and there, little slick stuff has been popping off. And then I'll be like, hey, I look at my assistant coaches, and they all know me. And I'll be like, you better tell them I'm going to introduce them to Coach Jefferson.
Hey, be on that ride.
Y'all ain't met Coach Jefferson yet.
Be on that Roger Wilson. Hey, that's your one.
Right.
I'm keeping track. I didn't put it in my book, nigga.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I am so glad that I am not followed around by cameras. But, I mean, I do think, again, that you've got to be measured in your approach, and you've got to know the kids that you're dealing with. You definitely have to know each and every individual and how to push the buttons correctly. Because if you do that with the wrong person, you're looking for a world of trouble.
Right. But you brought up a bigger point too, though. Like as far as like, and we talked, maybe the whole podcast is making sense now. We talked about with Maya Angelou and growing up and the difference as far as age ranging groups. I mean,
yeah.
Do you guys remember Lou Holtz coming out on the field and snatching niggas by the helmet and pulling them to the sideline when he was coaching Notre Dame?
I don't remember, but I don't doubt it. I mean, I know what Woody Hayes did.
Woody Hayes, you talk about, and you brought up Bobby Knight throwing a chair out there, cussing out players, doing this and that. Doesn't make it right. So it's like, are we evolving? Or, as what some people say, are we becoming softer in our approach, which may be good or bad. Who knows? I put that question out
I don't
there.
think it's becoming softer because there's still coaches who do all that stuff.
Right.
They are maybe not on these big teams, and they might be doing it, like I said, at practices, but not so much at the actual games. Because kids, like Joe said, kids push you there. Kids have pushed me there. Coaches have pushed me there to where you're just, like, ready to go off, or you do actually go off on them. Coaches, I see coaches all the time that are like yelling and screaming at athletes, whether they're professional or college or high school athletes. So I don't think it's a thing from ages past. Bobby Knight coached for a really big team.
Yep.
Notre Dame was a big team. So they were things that people saw all the time, and people made big deals about them because they were so loud and boisterous even when they were being interviewed.
I think
a lot of coaches now can turn it off when the game is done.
I mean, not to cut you off, though, but I think more importantly, Lou Holtz and Bobby Knight made those teams big. That might be even more important to what we talk to the narrative too. What do those coaches represent as far as that program?
I put it this way though. I think Bobby Knight made that program big, but I don't think we can't limit it to being that Bobby Knight was aggressive and abusive. And
No.
I'm saying there's a lot of Bobby Knight's several things. Bobby Knight is a wonderful teacher. Bobby Knight is extremely knowledgeable. He's diligent in terms of studying tape.
He's
he knows his opposition.
Fucking great coach. He's a fucking great coach. Yeah,
he's a genius. And so
he made a lot of nominal white boys great.
Yeah, most definitely. And so to take him and maybe what is by some to be considered his worst aspect and making that the sum total of who he is I think irresponsible. I do think that it may have played a part in shaping his legacy or even making him, when it was acceptable, a better coach. No. But he did not evolve with the time.
No.
And I do think he allowed it to get the better of him and become a little bit more at the forefront, other than the genius other things that we talked about that
right
are definitely part of it. You know what I'm saying? So it can't consume you. You can't let it consume you.
No, what I'm saying is I'm saying no. He was a great coach, as he was a great asshole. So I'm saying what I'm saying is, because he was a great coach, a lot of that shit got yada yada yada. If he had been a shit coach, they'd been like, this nigga's an asshole, he got to go. That's all I was saying. The same with Lou Holtz. If he had been a shit coach with all that spitting and grabbing niggas and cussing niggas out, it would have been like, okay, you can go too, nigga. In the same, but it goes back to Izzo too. He hasn't had great performances even though he has won a national championship. He has had, it's been a while. But even though he has won a national championship, and he has great seasons. He hasn't had great postseasons as far as the NCAA tournament. But if he was a shit or subpar coach, this would have been the thing that got him fired. But this is the thing. But like, you go on social media, everybody's defending him because he's a good coach. So once again, and that's all I was saying. I mean, I wasn't trying to shit on Bobby Knight saying that's all he was. But that was a big part of what he was. But he was also a good coach that brought forth results. And we talked about this on my bad. We talked about this on this podcast too. Whereas if you bring results or whatever, winning cancels everything else. Nobody gets canceled. Everybody moves on. And Bobby Knight wasn't part of the cancel culture, but if that nigga was bringing forth like 10 and whatever seasons, that nigga would have been gone too. Soon he threw that chair, they'd been like, all right, my nigga, you out.
Yeah. I mean,
if Joe, I never seen your coaching method, but I have seen, and you talked about your results. If you wasn't bringing forth results, then your coaching method wouldn't be accepted. You know what I'm saying? It's a give and take kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, I definitely think that I have gathered more tools over the time.
Yeah.
And whereas that might have been a tool that I used a lot early on, and it's still in my kit. I definitely know that, I got to go through all the other processes before I get there.
Well, and the same can go back. We talk about the A.D.A. where she's more soft spoken on some ends, but even she might be like every once in a while I might have to go to the toolkit and get a little.
I wouldn't say soft spoken is the right word. I'm just not a yeller. People called me Coach Sergeant Murder when I coached.
Okay, soft spoken, not a yeller.
I'm not yelling, but I'm definitely be firm and all that. Yeah.
They call me Staff Sergeant Passive Aggressive. Kill him with kindness and have your ass in the front leading rest. What's up? Well, anyway, which is another word for push up. But yeah, but we all have to adjust and we all have to go. I never coach, blah blah blah, but the military puts me in direct contact with adults, and sometimes they're older than me. So once again, I do agree you have to change up your managerial or coaching method. So yeah. So I didn't want to talk about this. Actually, I did, but I didn't. Why? What's going on with the internets?
Mm-hmm.
I had it up, but it decided to disappear. Let me close. Maybe Maya's still talking. Maya still letting me know you gonna call me Maya. As soon as I closed Maya Angelou, Tyreek showed up. I don't know what's going on with that.
There it is.
But it's scrolling real slowly though. So I think a lot of our fans are local, and if you're not, I'm sure you follow NFL. But if not, you should care about children. So here we have Tyreek Hill. Once again, segue into sports. We're still talking about sports. Tyreek Hill under investigation. Domestic dispute involving his child. Still ongoing as we speak about it right now. So we won't. It's kind of hard to lay judgment. We can look on his past aggressions if we want to, which probably leads to people asking questions. But right now we're looking at him and his wife and their child, who is 3 right now, having a broken arm. He lives out here. We're in Missouri right now, me and Anthony, but across the state line over in Kansas, out in Overland Park, being investigated by the Overland Park PD as far as how his child received a broken arm. And there's a lot of speculation going on right now as far as how this is proceeding, because usually if anyone has been involved in sports or talked about sports, whenever it's a domestic dispute, specifically involving a player, it's pretty quick that all the information's out there. In the NFL, was involving a player, it's pretty quick unless you're an owner. Robert Kraft. It's very slow to progress. But if you're a player,
Kraft went ahead and made a statement today.
He made a statement today though, but that's because them niggas said, "Hey, dog, you trying to say you didn't do it? We'll put these tapes out there, nigga. We will put these tapes out there. Your old wrinkled mayonnaise ass getting a hand job. Do you want the world to see you naked, nigga? Do you want the world to see you naked?" And Robert Kraft said, "No. Let me go apologize." That's what happened today. Robert Kraft said, "Hey, dog, hey, my bad. We going on a tangent. That's what we do here, though." This nigga had the audacity to bring up his dead wife in his apology.
Wow. I didn't see it. What happened?
Hold on, dog. I didn't remember it verbatim, but like he brought up his wife, his dead wife, his family, all this other shit, dog. And I'm like, nigga, just say I'm sorry. I didn't know this was a sex ring. I just wanted a hand job, dog. Good night. That's all you gotta say, dog.
Well, was he trying to explain how stressed out he was and he needed a tug? Is that what the deal was?
Nah, dog. He was on some old like, hold on, dog. You know what? We have the technology. I'm not about to try to remember this shit. Nigga, I glanced over that shit and I sighed, nigga. Like, this old white man. Let that be a nigga.
Let it be a nigga.
Hold on, dog. Robert Kraft apology, nigga. Oh, it comes up. Robert Kraft apologizes, nigga. Hold on, Tyreek. We'll get back to you, nigga. And your wife, y'all crazy asses.
Mm-mm.
And once again, my internet is. Oh no!
Yo, dial-up ass shit.
AOL.
Like an AOL.
Ding, ding, ding. Mama, don't answer the phone. I'm trying to jack off. Gonna fuck up everything. If you answer the phone, the picture won't download fully. What are you down there doing? I ain't getting no phone calls. Okay, we'll let that load. Okay, hold on, we go. So cry. I don't need to hear that shit. I need that. There we go. In deference to the judicial process, I have remained silent these past several weeks. To correct some of the misinformation around this matter, my attorney made his first public comments on Friday night. I would like to use the opportunity to say something that I have wanted to say for 4 weeks. I am truly sorry. I know I've hurt and disappointed my family, my close friends, my co-workers, our fans, and many others who rightfully hold me to a higher standard. Basically saying I did get a hand job. Throughout my life, I have always tried to do the right thing. The last thing I ever want to do is respect another human being. I have extraordinary respect for women, except for they give me hand jobs. My morals, my soul were shaped by the most wonderful woman, the love of my life, who I was blessed to have as my partner for 50 years. Bringing up his dead wife. As I move forward, I hope to continue to use this platform to which I have been blessed to help others and try to make a difference. I expect to be judged not by my words, but by my actions. You got a hand job by a sex slave. And through those actions, I hope to regain your confidence and respect.
Is he talking about the actions from this point forward, or the fact that he got the hand job as the action?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes.
And the fact that he probably still has been going back there or somewhere different.
Yeah, because he didn't say.
I have it. So wait a minute. That I have extraordinary respect for women. My morals and my soul was shaped by the most wonderful woman, the love of my life. And I get it. His wife died.
So he's saying he started going to get prostitutes, hand jobs from prostitutes because of his wife taught him that? Is that what he's saying?
No. Well, his wife.
He said he got morals from his wife.
Well, his wife. Well, I mean, up until this point, we have no documented footage of Robert Kraft getting hand jobs with sex slaves. Mm-hmm. His wife died of cancer like less than 5 or 6 years ago.
Like, I respect her wife, but he said he learned all this.
Yeah, about 5 years ago, wasn't it?
So what is he saying?
His wife showed him how to give tips.
Yeah.
Maybe his wife get the best hand jobs.
Right, Bobby.
All right.
This is what you call a tip drill.
R.I.P. Hey, Rob, I'm gonna do what like the niggas do. Hey, baby, I saw we got coconut oil in the bathroom. Isn't that just for cooking? Oh no, Robert.
No, not at all.
Coconut oil do for you.
Hey, I know you only got 4 inches of thunder, but I'm gonna put both hands on you tonight. Ja, 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 ja.
Shit, sometimes that's all it takes, man. That's all it wants.
Hey, she dead though, so we just this is bad. I hope nobody will run for president.
We're just going off his words. That's all.
I don't understand.
Fuck that.
I would just have said, hey, my bad, y'all. I did get a hand job. I didn't know she was a sex slave. R.I.P. nigga. And I'm out. I don't know what's happening. It's all tricky. But anyway.
Tricky dick.
Tricky.
All right. Back to the child abuser.
But we don't know though. We don't know though. So that's the thing that we've been talking about at work though. It's like that's why I brought that up because the investigations have been so slow. Is it Tyreek or is it the wife?
They probably got Mueller on the team.
God damn. Hey.
He got about 2 seasons to play for them.
Hey, we know you got some downtime, my nigga. Could you come investigate this broken arm with this Tyler?
Yeah. Yeah, he gonna play for him for about 2 seasons. Yeah, I think his rookie contract gonna be just about up before the investigation is over.
Well, it's gonna be up this season, so he's supposed to get a new contract.
Oh, shit.
So basically, the Stars obtained a police report from the Logan Park Police Department about a battery incident that listed juvenile as the victim. Hill's fiancee, Crystal Espinal, 24, is listed under others involved. The report is dated Thursday, but it's unclear when the alleged incident took place. The club is aware of the investigation involving Tyreek Hill. The chief said in a statement to the Star, "We are in the process of gathering information, and we have been in contact with the league and local authorities. We have no further comment at this time." A source familiar with the situation said Hill's fiancé has been in contact with Overland Park Police. The source said the incident was against the couple's 3-year-old son, resulting in a broken arm. So, what's up? Go ahead.
I was going to say, so right now it's just under investigation. There's nothing pointing fingers at, why did this child got a broken arm or anything like that.
Well, right now, I think it's like it's trying to figure out who did it. And like it seems like, I don't know, from the wording, man, it seems like, I don't know. Because like that's why I brought that up in the beginning. Whenever it's a player involved, it's pretty clear cut, and they tend to like letting it go off top once I shouldn't say that but Kareem Hunt he did lie to the police when they got there, so he gave them niggas the Keystone Cops.
yeah, that's a little different.
Let me put my drawers on and pretend I was asleep when I get here.
Exactly. So, but damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was basically. About how the media and everything gets their news and how fast it gets put out there. In general, because they're entertainers, and we hold entertainers when they come out to a higher standard than we do common folk. I hate to use that term, but that's what I'm going to use anyway. We hold these entertainers and everyone, who has basically money to a higher standard. And so when something, gets played in the media, such as these abuse allegations, it does get out there pretty quickly because of their notoriety and their fame and stuff like that.
I think for him, specifically given this couple in him, because this was the same guy who got released. I'm sorry. He got released. My bad. I thought you were done. My bad. He was released from I believe Oklahoma State Same woman who he had she was pregnant with the same child who he had grabbed and choked when she was pregnant with the child.
Yeah.
So I believe, given his history, there'll be a closer watch, quicker reaction. But given his history, that's why I'm wondering, like, maybe there's more to it than at the surface of, because I won't say his name, but me and we're at the job, one of the reps, we were talking about it. Usually, like, even with Kareem Hunt, there were several things in between and even after him trying to kick this woman, right? It wasn't like, I don't know where he tried to kick this woman. Like, after he tried to kick this woman, all this other little shit came up, right? I mean, it wasn't kicking women, but it was like him fighting at the bar, him doing this, blah, blah, blah. But with Tyreek Hill, there's been nothing. After he got cut from the team at Oklahoma State, did whatever he had to do to get in the good graces with the NFL to get picked up by the Chiefs, there's been nothing, right?
Right.
And you normally don't see that. You normally don't see a guy just go, I'm choking and beating up women, to nothing, and then one day I'm breaking the kid's arm. You normally don't see that. It's usually a pattern. It's usually a history. So that's why I'm like, it's like, and been working in the ER, having worked in the ER for several years, like, did the wife or his girlfriend or fiance grab or pull the child, throw a child down, and there was an accidental break, and just happens to be that Tyreek Hill's names involved in this? Because it's obvious it's not clear and cut. Because this information broke, a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
Because you best believe a week and a half ago, if they knew for a fact that Tyreek Hill grabbed that child, threw that child, beat that child, whatever. And off top, though, I mean, it's a child's arm who's broken, so fuck both the parents until it gets figured out.
All right.
Off top. Fuck them both until it gets figured out. We'll figure that out.
Right.
If it's an accident, I'll apologize. If it's shown to be an accident, because that does happen also. But it's obvious it's not clear and cut. But once again, like I was talking to one of the guys at work, one of the reps at work, it's like, usually with guys like this, if he falls into that category, there's usually a fucking trend. It's not like, oh, I choked my girlfriend, wife one day, I go cold turkey for 3 or 4 years, and I decided to break my kid's arm.
Right.
And in truth, she may have been like, he might be beating the shit out of her. We don't know, and he might be hiding it, and then she might be hiding it. I don't know. Right. I mean, it might be that too.
But you're right about if these are. I mean, I think it will go both ways too, because with women abusing children and men, both of them, there are patterns. It may be as subtle as bruises on the backside to as big as black eyes or even broken bones and things like that. But you don't see that pattern there. You just see this one incident. And you're right. There was not anything since the Oklahoma incident.
And I'm saying it don't mean nothing. But one of the things you gotta question. It's like you gotta ask.
You do have,
because then what happens? What happens is when one incident comes out, there's usually this like undercurrent that pulls in. Oh, she was at the hospital this time for that. She at the hospital this time for that. This hospital this time for that. A lot of this other shit starts coming up. And like I said, and the thing that like sticks out to me, it's been like almost 2 weeks, and we're still stuck in this phase. The only thing that's come out is that the Chiefs have been in trade negotiation with this nigga. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, as a father with children, I'm like, how's that baby doing? Because everybody that went quiet, nigga.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think this is big because of the Kareem Hunt situation.
And also given Tyreek Hill's history.
And so, and that's, I was going to bring that up. You say, normally there would be a pattern. Some people would argue that this is the pattern. You had the Oklahoma incident, and you had this incident. That may be the pattern.
But 3 years though.
But 3 years.
Is that? I don't know. What about 3 years?
No. What I'm saying,
most people that get abused, they're not
Go ahead.
always going to the hospital, so you're not going to have records. They're not going to the police.
Right.
So I'm not saying that he's been abusing her, that she's been abusing him, or they've both been abusing the kid. Just outside of that situation, there could be a pattern without anybody outside of the two of them or the three of them, because the kid's going to be seeing shit too, knowing what's going on. Just because you haven't seen police reports or haven't seen like a hospital record doesn't mean that something wasn't happening between the two of them.
And I agree.
So there could be a pattern without that. And it could be, like Joe said, there's been people who've been like super physically abusive to somebody, and then they're peaceful with them for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they blow up and they go back to being physically abusive on somebody.
Right. But I'm not. I don't want to play. It's not even devil's advocate, because it's not the correct definition of that. And I don't want to make light of the fact that he put his hands on a woman. Outside of him grabbing her the one time, there's no other instance of abuse.
How do you know?
No. I get, but I knew everybody's gonna say that. That's why I knew everybody's gonna say that. I get it, and there's also no documentary proof of her abusing him either. We can go the other way.
Most men who get abused are not going to report it to anybody.
Correct.
So,
as a man who's been punched in the face several times, I will say yes, you're correct.
Well, there you go. He just reported it.
Hey, somebody give me help. But it happened fucking 15 years ago, so what's going to happen? No.
You need somebody to talk to, dog.
No, I don't want to talk to anybody. No. I don't. That's why like my words are like that's why I took a deep breath, because it's like in this day and age, there's no way to say it correctly or appropriately. And also why I said, and I also pointed out too that people don't go get help. People don't do this, don't do that. I've been deployed with soldiers, like before we get deployed, where it's like my husband did this and that to me, and it's like, you need to go talk to somebody. And it's like, I don't want him to get in trouble. He's in the military. And it's like, I don't know what to do, because I can't report it for you. I'm not part of that. I'm just here for the mental health aspect of it. And by doctrine, I can't report it for you.
Right.
And that's what I see happening here.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Go ahead.
In the Kareem Hunt situation, you had the party was an outside party. You know what I'm saying? The woman who was kicked, and there was obvious video footage of this. Because it was done in a quasi-public place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he also go ahead.
Sounds like it was done in a home, right?
I believe so, but they had to take
probably likely wouldn't be surveillance footage, at least not available to whoever asked for it, right? And so what I'm saying to you is, unless this woman is ready to be out, I feel like what's going to happen is dude, you're going to stop the meal ticket.
No, but I will also...
Not only the meal ticket, but a lot of women stick around because if they leave, if they are being abused and they leave, especially with somebody high profile like this, who knows what's going to happen to them after they leave. So she might be trying to keep it... If something is happening to her, which we don't know if it is, she's not going to leave the situation, more than likely.
And also, but let's not forget also that Tyreek Hill, or his wife or girlfriend, whatever she presents as, brings a child with a broken arm to an ER room, and one person thinks that it looks suspicious, they can report it.
Your mandatory reporter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's nurses. All nurses are like that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, and like today, I was like, I got nervous. I was out with my fucking 2-year-old, and he was about to fall. I grabbed his arm, and he twisted funny. And
oh boy!
And the only reason why I thought about it, because I knew this is what we like, because this is like around the time I was like, oh, I'm gonna put some. It was before Joe hit me up to talk about we should get on tonight. Well, asked what's going on, but I was like, oh, and I talked to A.D.A. like, oh, I want to get on tonight, but like so of course this shit was in my mind, and I was like, God damn, what happens if I gotta take Ellis to the emergency room and my big black ass show up with this child with a broken arm?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It does happen.
No, it happens.
No, it
a lot. As a nigga who worked in the ER, it happens a lot.
Yeah, I know.
And all it takes is one nurse to go in there and go, that looks suspicious, and they go report it, and you ain't gotta be reported, you ain't gotta be a part of the case.
6'3" nigga go.
Like, hold on, black fathers aren't involved in their children's lives. Why is he here?
Right. Exactly. You're exactly right, my brother.
But like, yeah, but not to make okay, my bad. Getting back to the point, it's like, so everyone's pointing out there are a bunch of avenues, and it's fucked up. It's fucked up from the standpoint of the child, but the fact that the investigation has been going on for almost 2 weeks,
and nothing happened.
I mean, it could be that it could be Tyreek Hill and the mother standing there saying no. It could be the mother and Tyreek Hill saying no. And it could be the fact that Tyreek Hill and the mother saying no, the baby was out fucking about to fall down the hill, as Ellis was about to do today, and we grabbed him and his fucking arm broke.
Yeah.
Like what happened today? 'Cause Ellis had a coat on, and I grabbed him, and the coat twisted funny, and I was like, "Oh shit," and I was like, "God damn!" And like he stood up and was like, "Oh, I'm good." I was like, "Hey, that's all good." Thank you.
I remember we got James and I have a mutual acquaintance. Somebody he used to date.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and this young man's a senior in high school now. But when he was, a kid, we would take him out to the Royals games, and we were sitting in seats that were right above the walkway, and so this dude, probably somewhere between 3 and 5, was leaning over the the rail to see what was going on down below, to the point where he almost fell. So I had to snatch him by his arm, yank him back up, and his head bounced off the pole.
Yep.
I know exactly what happened now.
Dude, that's dude. If we'd had to go to the emergency room, that could have definitely looked funny.
Yeah.
I mean, kids do some things sometimes, and it may. I don't know. I mean, that may. Hey, we may not get to the bottom of that.
Even though she was beating the shit out of us, I mean, she wasn't beating the shit out of us to the point where I was fucking myself up. But I know for a fact that people in the emergency room at the Humana, they used to be back on fucking, what was that? Was that Warnell? And 103rd back in the, well, now it's a whole different building, but back in the day, across from that Quick Trip, you know what I'm talking about, across from that Quick Trip, they probably thought Brenda Winston was fucking me up. Because my dumb black ass was trying to skateboard down hills, trying to build homemade ramps in the front yard, trying to jump in niggas' yards and run away from they fucking dogs to see if I can get out fast enough. Let's see, jumping down the stairs and hitting my head on the ceiling, nigga, and fucking knocking myself unconscious. There were numerous times she was like, "I should fuck you up just for the simple fact that people gonna think I'm fucking you up." That is a quote from Brenda Winston. I can get her on the podcast to say, "Yes, I said that." All that said. No. We were just bringing forth it's not even debate. Just trying to bring forth all avenues of discussion. If Tyreek did that, fuck him. If his wife or girlfriend, whatever, did that, fuck them. There's a child involved in that, and that's all that matters to me. I don't give a fuck how many touchdowns that niggas catch. I don't give a fuck what he does for Kansas City. If that nigga broke a fucking 3-year-old's arm, or anybody's arm, for that matter, fuck them. If he's been beating his wife for the last 3 or 4 fucking years, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? So let's just put that out there for anybody to say anything.
Well, here's the question. Here's the question then.
Yes, sir.
Is he innocent until proven guilty, or guilty until proven innocent?
In the state, well, as far as when it comes to child laws, when it comes to children and how that's defended, you are guilty until proven innocent. Every other place is. Every other thing, as far as like adult law, if for dealing with adults, is innocent to proven guilty. But when I work with children, nigga, you had to leave the facility until they figured out that what you did.
All right.
So okay, in terms of that.
Oh, but you mean as far as public opinion? My bad.
Yeah.
That
always,
I mean, any of it. I'm talking about. Should he be playing in the NFL? Should he be collecting a check? Should he be, a
I'm
chief?
gonna go with what would they do for Robert Kraft? That's what I'm gonna do from here on out. No, but real talk though. Shit. I don't know. It's so different from like what we seen from everything else. With Kareem Hunt, you got videotape. With Ray Rice, you got videotape. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't know. And damn, that's a good question. Fuck, Joe. I don't know. I'm like I don't. If it's a thing of there's been no charges pressed and it's still investigation, I don't think you should. Even if he was playing for some other team, I put it that way. If he playing for some other team, I would say he still gets to play. But if it comes out that nigga did, he got to go.
Yeah.
No questions asked. He got to go. Like so. Up until then, like with on this podcast, everything else, we don't really like it. For the most part, we don't explode nor react. We just usually go, we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna be there with it. Granted, I take his past actions into account, and I get for the most part that people who beat women or whatever the fuck, rape women, do everything, they move at a certain level. Then I also go that other things may or may not come up from other women, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Dog. I mean, all I can say is if this nigga broke this kid's arm, if this nigga's put his hands on his wife or any other woman for that matter, he got to go. That's all I know. Up until then, I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna see. But it seems crazy that the investigation is taking this long. That's the part that doesn't make sense to me. Because usually the NFL got some real. But also, if the NFL don't want to see shit, they ain't gonna see shit. Cause they like niggas across the league love Tyreek.
Yeah.
So that's one of them scary things too, where it's like that Ray Rice shit. Because Ray know who killed that nigga that night. But Ray be talking real good, like niggas need to act right. Like, hold on, Ray. You accomplice to a murder, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? How you gonna tell me it'd be right? Hey, that's like that shit from Black Dynamite. But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the black community. So I'm laughing, but yeah, I don't know. I like it. It'd be that thing where I don't know. I look at at me. And it's like, I don't know. It's one of them things, dog. Like, a nigga has been accused of something that a nigga has not done, and if it came out to light that somebody said, well, you did this, and I couldn't work anymore until I was proven innocent, I don't know how to prove that innocence, dog. All I can do is say I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have never known that person intimately. That's all I know. So, but then it'll be that thing though, right? We be here and y'all be like, my nigga Roger, he ain't never had no incident beforehand. He ain't never did shit beforehand. But then we go, but niggas who do this move quietly and silently, and it's like, I guess, but I'm never.
All right.
So I don't know.
What does the Lady of Lavender?
The Lady of Lavender.
What does she feel about that? She play?
About which part? I don't know. I think part of me is even wondering if it's already been figured out and they're trying to figure out how to spin it. So maybe they're already saying he did it, but they're trying to figure out how to spin it so he can keep playing.
That true.
Or maybe
that too. Maybe trying to tell the wife to take the charge. Yeah, that's true.
I think that it is a hard situation because with kids, it's always because of the mandatory reporting. You do have to prove that you're innocent, which is harder than proving that you're guilty, right? So I don't know. I don't know if I think he should be allowed to. Well, it's off season right now, but he should be able to keep playing until he's officially proven guilty if he did something. I don't know. It's a hard situation because we don't have information.
But the
it
thing
has been a minute. The big question is, why is it taking so long to figure this out? And then that leads to all these questions about what could potentially be going on. It's just a lot.
But the plot twist is that he's up for a new contract. So that's the conspiracy.
That was my first question.
That's the conspiracy aspect of it. But I think those are like fanboys who would say, "Fuck everybody, no matter what. Keep Tyreek. We don't care if he was killing puppies in broad daylight." They would still be like.
Do you think it could be a thing now? Like they want to trade him, but they're like, "We don't want this getting out because we want somebody to pick him up because we don't want him anymore."
I think
we want another team to take him, but we don't want this out there because we want them to take him before.
One aspect could be we want to still sign him, but not for as much money. That's one conspiracy.
Right.
Cause they already gonna give fucking they about to give Mahomes the entire every barbecue franchise in fucking Missouri will be owned by fucking Patrick Mahomes by next year.
Right. Yeah.
So that's one theory. But I never thought about that too. It might be like they already know this nigga did it, and motherfuckers might be trying to talk to the wife to say, hey, this little nigga fell down the steps and you tried to grab him. I never thought about that. That might be some. I mean, it's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. I never thought about that other side of it though too. That's pretty good. But I know the big thing is like he's up to get paid. That is without question. He's up to get paid. They got all these rookies who fucking balled the fuck out last year, and they up to get some money. And that's where we at. So somebody gonna get paid. You gonna pay the quarterback all the money he got, and Patrick Mahomes out there doing what he's supposed to do. I want to be a Chiefs forever. I got the good American, all-American apple pie eating white girl on my arm. We can be a good couple commodity for this Midwestern team. And then you got Tyreek Hill, who 3 years ago put hands on the woman he's with right now, and now has a son with a broken arm with the same woman.
I will say that one thing from the article that makes me think that it is abuse and not an accident is it said that whoever the witness was or whoever the spy, whoever leaked the information, said that it was something against the son resulting in a broken arm and not involving the son.
Right. I saw that
resulting
too.
in a broken arm.
I saw that too, but they don't say who was the party.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So somebody abused the kid.
And that's the problem. So I'm like, is it Tyreek Hill covering for the old lady, which doesn't seem realistic, or is it Tyreek Hill did this and they're trying to get the old lady to say, "Hey, you did it"?
Or it could be that they were both fighting and they started tussling, and somebody who knows who accidentally pushed her. They were wrestling, and the kid
and 3-year-olds. At that age, 3-year-olds are 3-year-olds always saying, "Don't hit my mama, don't hit my daddy," or whatever. That's a perfect age for 3-year-olds to be very verbal and say some shit like that.
We're just running around playing, not paying attention to the parents who always fight. Yeah. And then the kid's running around in an astronaut and gets in the middle of when the parents are having their physical altercation.
Astronaut what?
His arm. Playing astronaut.
Oh.
She's like space.
I got a cardboard box on, nigga.
No, just like walking. I was talking to my niece today. She's 2, and she was walking around pretending she was on the moon. And then she said, "Now we're going to the planets." And she started walking like an astronaut.
But did she have a cardboard box on? Not where she was at.
She had 2 chairs and
but it was a happy moment. It wasn't like you and me, like fuck you, bitch, fuck you, nigga, I hate you, bitch, nigga, I'm going to the moon, and then like
no. He's been playing. The kid might have just been playing. Parents over here arguing about Tyreek not having a contract yet, and start fighting each other, and the kid is still playing because he's used to them fighting all the time. And the kid gets knocked over.
Like, oh, here these niggas go, about to make another baby. That's fine. We
Who knows? Who knows what happened? We don't know.
True that. We don't know. And like as always, we would just wait to hear, just like with Jesse or Juicy or what's his nigga's name?
That stuff's still going on?
Oh yeah, he got 16. What is it? 14 or 16 counts. They put.
Oh, he hasn't gone to court yet.
Nah. Yeah, Jesse. Yeah, there you go. And 10 meters always bringing the real. They the grand jury. Yeah, it was like I think it was like 16 or 14 counts they put against that nigga.
Okay, I stopped following it.
Yeah, I stopped following it when it was those two black dudes whose parents were from Nigeria, but they were born here in America, and they kept calling them Nigerians, and I was like, but they're Americans. Yeah. I was like, it's all bad.
Yeah, I stopped following him before even that point came.
I was like, dog. I was like, Juicy didn't. You know, I know his name is just. I'm gonna call nigga Juicy. I was like,
just his mother.
I'm gonna call nigga Juicy. I was like, Juicy know he did something wrong. But you know what? Fuck them. Fuck Chicago. So whatever. All right, we good. I think we pretty much covered everything in our docket, unless anyone wants to bring anything else up. Closing matters.
No closing matters here.
Joe, you still
good.
there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Did you turn the movie on? Did you get tired of our talk?
Man, watching this flood.
Flood?
The river.
Flood?
Yeah, I know that my man was up in Nebraska. They said it was flooding up there. I guess it's coming down the Missouri River this way.
Shit. They should, more duck boat?
Oh, no, not the duck boats.
I hope not.
Not the duck.
Everybody laugh. All you niggas going to hell. Not me, though, because I don't believe in that. So, whatever.
You going somewhere in there.
I'm going to a box with the rest of you niggas. But anyway.
Fire and damnation.
Fire and damnation. To all you niggas of the Nigga Rockin' Podcast. Even you, Lady Lavender, you should be in the fire with us.
Guilty by association.
Are you consorting with these niggas? Anyway.
Oh, shit.
As always, though, good episode. Covers a good round of topics. Shout out Maya Angelou, R.I.P. And make sure y'all call her by her full name or her last name.
Dr. Maya Angelou.
We call her Maya. If y'all see her in the afterlife, make sure you don't just call her Maya. Who knows what superpower she has there? I don't know, nigga. You might not want to know.
Kill you with your words.
She might just be able to lock you down and talk to you for fucking eternity, nigga. That might be her superpower, nigga. Anyway, so we all good. Everyone feels like they've gotten their words in. Good. All right, closing it out. Always a good one. Nigga Rockin' Podcast. Casey Stork. Once again, a good round table. 10 meters. A.D.A. Not to be confused with the American Disability Act. Not at all. She has full capabilities. All her limbs are accessible to me. Anyway, that's I shouldn't say that. But
So Roger, where can we reach, man?
Hold on, dog. I can't. I gotta get Frank to give me that printout. I think once again, Nigga Rockin' Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Nigga Rockin' Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Nigga Rockin' _pod, I believe. Check it out, man. If you want to find us, you start typing in Nigga Rockin', we gonna come up. It's gonna be me and that frumpy ass nigga Frank in a picture. Matter of fact, hey man, hey Frank, when you record this nigga, you need to come down to James's wedding, aka funeral, so we can I didn't say that out loud. So we can get a picture of us together. Cause we need to update the picture for real. And if you don't come, I'm gonna take a picture of just me, Joe, James, and 10 meters in A.D.A. and we gonna make it the new fucking picture for the podcast till you get your ass right. But real talk though, yeah. If you type in Nigga Rockin', you'll find us there. You can find us Apple Media, Google Play, Apple Media, iTunes for people who say, what is Apple Media? iTunes, Google Play, I didn't know this. We're on Spotify too, iHeartMedia. Anywhere you get your podcast from, you will find us. So, Nigga Rockin' Podcast, type us into your Google browser. If you are in the Stone Ages and you still like to use Explorer, you type us in there too, you'll find us too. Does that satisfy you, Joe?
I'm satisfied, sir.
Also, yeah, I forgot to say, my bad. Joe's satisfied, but I'm still erect. Any feedback will be recommended. Facebook, Twitter. Please leave a review. How can we know that we are pleasing you if you don't let us know that you're pleased? That too. And if you send us some shade shit.
Or displeased.
Or displeased, yeah.
I would just say you didn't come fast enough.
It is.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm a considerate lover. I am. Please. But anyway, yeah. No, for real. Let us know what we're doing. What you would like to do. What you'd like to add on to. Take from. All that good stuff like that. I'm tired of begging. We love you. Thank you for listening. Nigga Round Podcast. KC Stork. 10 meters. A.D.A. Half of the power. What we call the twin powers of doom. Joe Jeff in the house. Thank you for listening. And as always, please enjoy the
music.
We out.